out how to stream TikTok on the same platform. But if you're joining me tonight, let me know where you're joining me from. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know where you're joining from by putting your location in the comment section below. Thank you guys on TikTok for joining. And guys, I want to know if you've been following and you've been part of the conversations we've been having in the last couple of days. Let me know what has been your highlight. Let me know what has been your highlight. What has been your highlight of this live that we've been running since the beginning of 2025? What has been your highlight? Let me know what has been your highlight. Have you learned anything? Have you taken anything away? Have you applied anything from the conversations that we've been having? What has been your highlight? Let me know in the chat. If you have been a consistent member of this community, what has been your highlight so far? What do you like? What have you taken away from the conversations that we have been having? Okay, give me a second. I need to share that. I'll share it on my LinkedIn now as well, so that what has been your highlight, guys? Tell me, what have you enjoyed? How have you been blessed? What did you like? What did you take away? What did you learn? What decision have you made? What changes have you made? Let me know in the comments, please. Type in the comments what exactly has been your highlight since we started this, epic growth live. What has been your major highlight? What have you learned? What is your feedback? I think, let me put it that way. What's your feedback? What is your feedback? What are your feedback? Let me know, guys. Let me know. I'm waiting before I dive into the conversation tonight, guys. So put in the chat. Put in the chat. You answer this question, or you talked about this thing. Let me know. What has been your biggest highlight so far? What is your highlight about this epic live, and what would you like, if you can also think of what would you like me to talk about? Although I've got like a schedule for the coming days, but I'm happy to tweak the schedule to accommodate, make sure that it's relevant for people. So please, if there's anything specifically you would like me to also address, you would like me to talk about trending issues, like anything that you think is important that affects our day-to-day, please let me know. Put in the chat what has been your highlight. Let me know, and where are you joining me from as well? Where are you joining me from, guys? Where are you joining me from? Where are you joining me from? Where are you joining me from, ladies and gentlemen? Where are you joining me from? I see somebody there from Reading in the UK. Okay, now I'm live on LinkedIn. Okay, LinkedIn is working. Twitter is working. Fantastic. Instagram, yes, we are live on Instagram. Thank you, ladies. And technology is teching finally tonight. The tech is teching. The tech is teching. So guys, let me know, where are you joining me from? Hi, Fumi. How are you, Fumi? How are you, Fumi? I'd love to hear about. I'd love to hear your views on strategies for procrastination. Could deal with procrastination. Okay, How do you maintain personal discipline to keep up? Okay, that's a good point. Let me write it down. Dealing with procrastination, yeah. Thank you for sharing. That's a very important point. Many of us struggle with procrastination. You know what? You know the way I look at procrastination, yeah? This is not answering the question, by the way. This is just me agreeing with what you said. Procrastination, like they say, is the thief of time, right? Procrastination is a thief of time, okay? And our life, like our existence, is time. It's about time. So we are sorry, give me a second. I need to. Our existence is about time, isn't it? So everything we represent is time. Our life is composed of time. And time is how life is measured, right? You measured life by time. You measure life by time. Time could be, you know, when you're a baby, to an infant, to a toddler, to a little child, yeah, to a teenager, to adults, yeah, and then so you measure time, you measure life in time. And the way I look at procrastination is something is stealing your time. That means it's actually stealing your life, it's stealing your opportunities, literally stealing your destiny. So time is the currency of life. Yeah, somebody wastes your time, they are potentially wasting your destiny. Somebody is wasting your time, they are wasting your most valuable resource. When you go to work and they are paying you for time, the time and effort, of course, but time is the reason why they pay you when you go to work, because you go and put in the time at work. Okay, so that's the way I look at procrastination. So we're going to have I think we will definitely talk about it. Guys, if you're joining me from LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, x.com, please put your questions in the chat of what have you found valuable? What has really blessed you? What has blessed you for being part of this series that I've been running? How do you think we can improve and make this series better? What would you like me to address? What questions do you have that you think, maybe I should ask this question, or this thing bothers me, maybe I should talk about it? Yeah? What bothers you that you would like me to talk about? Thank you for asking that question. That was a really good question, by the way. That was a really good question. Really good question. Thank you guys for joining. Guys, on TikTok, if you're just joining on TikTok, please do me a favor by pressing the like button. Press the like button, like hit the like button, so that this gets shown to other people, and as well as, you know, making sure that they get value from the session. All right. So tonight I want to spend some time I want to finish off what we talked about yesterday. Yesterday we were talking about some potentially profitable business ideas for immigrants, and we shared quite a number of things. I talked about a lot of business ideas that I think a lot of people potentially might look into. Also, in the last couple of days, I've been talking about global talent visa in the UK for people who want to extend or continue to work and live in the UK, and they're looking at how that could happen. I've also talked about the skilled worker visa. Yeah, so getting a skilled worker sponsorship visa. I've talked about how to position yourself to attract these opportunities. I've talked about that as well extensively. Guys, on the live stream, I'm looking at two screens, by the way. So if you think I'm looking away, I'm looking here. I'm basically managing two screens at the moment. So just in case for people who are new, we are getting better by the day. So our tech is improving for the live stream. But for now, we are using two screens to stream live. All right. I've talked extensively about how you can register or set up a business and use the business for your visa stay in the UK. I've talked about that as well. I've talked about how you can register your business and use that as a way to get a sponsorship license, right? So if that's something you want to explore, please go and check my previous episodes. Check it out on LinkedIn, on x.com. You can also check it out on Facebook, and you will find a lot of value. But if there's anything particularly you would like me to talk about, please, by all means, let me know. All right. So what I want to do tonight is I want to talk about the big profitable business ideas that I started sharing yesterday. We talked about some business ideas that people might not really be thinking about, or they might not be sure about. Also gave them some tips about the kind of things that you should consider when you're looking at setting up your business and serve customers. So let me bring up my slides and then we will kick off. Okay, so for those who just joined, just to give you, so yesterday we talked about the ethnic restaurant or cafe business. Yeah, we talked about the ethnic restaurant or cafe business, and we looked at, in fact, there was a lot of suggestions in the chat from other people about how to go about setting up this kind of business. Honestly, it was quite interesting. Bear with me. Let me move my screen over here. There we go. All right, there you go. Then we talked yesterday also about cleaning service business. Cleaning, yeah. Thank you. Salon. Oh yeah, somebody was listening. Thank you. This is what I love. Somebody was listening. Somebody was taking notes. Somebody was taking notes. Somebody was listening, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. Sorry, on TikTok, somebody is actually repeating everything we've been talking about on the live, which is good. So I love it when people engage and they're listening and they're getting value from the conversation. Thank you so much. So we talked about cleaning business. Then we also talked about salon, beauty salon. In this conversation, there was something about, nails, what's that thing called for the eyes? Eyelashes. We talked about barber, haircut, hair salon, beauty salon for ladies. And, we even talked about some really nice ideas on things you can do to improve and make yourself very valuable. Childcare. Thank you. Yeah, we talked about the massage chair. Thank you. Childcare services, childcare business. Listen, on childcare business, one of the things I want to talk about is if you are, of course, we are looking at this from an angle of if you don't have to invest a lot of money to things that will not cost you too much money to get started with minimal startup, capital. But sometimes if you are looking at doing business, sometimes you can decide to, if you're considering maybe a franchise or something like that. Some franchises are not very expensive, but what I always recommend is before you buy a franchise and go and sign the contract, start first, do some training and start with your little idea first, experiment. Am I making sense? Experiment. If you experiment, you will learn what works, and very quickly you will know what doesn't work. Okay, you will know what works and what doesn't work when you experiment. So don't be afraid to experiment. Um, Take feedback from people, ask questions, and then you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised that if you now want to go to the route of what's it called, franchising and all that. At least you know what you're doing. You already have you have some experience to go with. I hope that makes sense. So, especially for childcare services, I just remember that there's a lot of franchise models, all over the place where they will target you, they will market you, and ask you to come and sign some contract and use their brand to start and all that, which is not a bad thing, but you have to know what you're doing. Okay. If you want to understand more about what I'm saying, just Google franchise business. Just search for franchise online, and you will see what I'm talking about. Okay, the next one we talked about was clothing and tailoring shop. Clothing and tailoring. That's another very good business idea that immigrants can look out for. Fashion trends, tailoring, and all that stuff. So tailoring is another good one. So if you have something along these lines, you potentially have a path to settlement. And this is where we stopped or we paused yesterday. Online tutoring. Online tutoring. One of the things I talked about for this one is this is one of the easiest and one of the business models that has the lowest barrier to entry. Let me put it that way. Lowest barrier to entry, meaning that you don't need too much. You almost don't need much to start. You've got a good laptop. You can just fire a laptop and see what I'm doing here. I'm basically just boom, teaching, sharing, discussing, engaging, connecting. You can do it. You can do it too. As long as you have a message to share, you have a skill that you have mastered, you can start. Yeah, somebody said, I agree. Tailoring is a great business model. You can specialize. Yeah, you can specialize in bridal gowns. Yeah, there you go. I don't even know much about bridal gowns, but yeah, there you see that. So you can specialize in bridal gowns, and this is trending. Example, this is trending in Africa. Wow, there you go. Trending in Africa. Interesting, right? You see what I'm saying, guys? So again, do your research. Do your research. When you do your research, explore what is available in your local community. Explore, are there people doing something like this already? Yeah, and you can go and learn with them. Go and do some sort of internship or apprenticeship and just understand how they do it. I'm telling you, understand how they do it is a good way to start. Online tutoring is a very good business model as well. So if you have a skill for teaching, if you have technical skills as well, you can teach. This one is like literally everywhere. Everybody does this now. Everybody does this. So when I say everybody, like a lot of people do this. So I think if you want to do this, you just have to be conscious of market saturation. So you kind of need to know your audience. You need to know where and who you are targeting. As long as you are clear about that, you're good. As long as you are clear about that, you're good. Okay. So moving forward, I talked about podcasting as well, similar to online tutoring. Podcasting is also a very good business model. Guys on TikTok, do me a favor, please like the live so that it doesn't go off. So that it does not go off. Okay. So podcasting is a good one. Before I go on, something I said yesterday, somebody reached out to me. I saw a message today. Somebody reached out to me off the back of the conversations that we have been having. And the person said to me that he has a business. I think it's a catering business. Yeah, guys, listen to this. If you missed this yesterday, I want to share it again. Somebody reached out to me today and said she has a catering business, but she has been doing it as a side hustle, okay, which is fantastic. She has been doing the catering business as a side hustle. However, she would like to go mainstream, I believe, or she would like for me to help out with some sort of coaching or direction or whatnot. Now, why am I saying this to you? Yesterday, I said if you have a business, yeah, or you would like to, because one thing, business is not easy, all right? It's not for, like I say, it's not, I used to be, I put it, it's not for children, it's not child's play. All right? Business is not child's play. There's a lot of skills you need to master in order to do business, apart from, producing your product or creating your service or whatever. You've got to sell it. You've got to sell it. You've got to market it. You've got to convince. It's not for the faint. It's not for the weak. Hearted. Yeah. So business is not easy. So I'm saying all of these things. I'm not trying to make it sound like, oh, this is very easy. Anybody can do this. No. That's not what I'm saying. No. So one of the things I know that people struggle with when it comes to business is visibility. Visibility. People need to know that your business exists, or that people need to find you. They need to know where to find you. They need to know about your business. And I think that this is one of the areas where a lot of people struggle. It's one of the areas where so many people struggle. So what I said yesterday is one of the things that I want to be able to deliver or help with is visibility. I want to be able to help with visibility. So if you have a business or you have an idea you're working on, or you have a side hustle that you want to give some visibility, you want people to see, you want people to hear about your product or your service or whatever, you can send me a message, okay? Send me a message about your business, and I will, let me find the thing where you can send a message to. Okay, there it is. So send a message to, give me a second. Send a message to on our website, and this is where you send a message to. There you go. So if you go to joinmomentum.co.uk, let me see if I can put it in the chat. How do I type on the chat here now? I don't know how to type on the chat on TikTok. Let's bear with me. Chat. Comment. Okay, I can comment. So if you go to, let me type here, join momentum .co.uk. If you are on other platforms, it's already on your screen. It's showing on your screen already if you're on other platforms, so don't worry about it. I'm just typing it for the guys on TikTok. So what I promise you is I will look at your business model, and yeah, there you go. Can I pin it? I don't know how to pin it. Okay, I'm not sure how to pin it. Doesn't matter. But you guys can see it, right? So there's a form there, a simple form, where you can just drop a message about your name, tell me about your business and what you would like. If it's visibility you want, I don't mind even showcasing you on this live or bringing you to come and talk about your business. We're going to get to that point where we start bringing people up to talk about the things that are important to them and all that stuff. So that time is coming. So drop me a message here to showcase your business, because I know that many people, one of the reasons why they struggle with business is because nobody really patronizes their business. Nobody asks questions. Also, we can explore and look at ideas around why or how your business can get more visibility. Okay, we can look at ideas on how your business can get more visibility. Okay, so back to my so eco-friendly traditional products. This is another good one. So you can sell things that people like eco-conscious consumers. So you can develop products that they like. For example, you can do T-shirts, you can do mugs, souvenirs, and all sort of things. And you can design different kind of things and maybe sell it to people who are, people who are conscious about such things. It's a very good business model as well. All right, so I'm going to stop here for now on the business ideas. Let me bring up my other slide. Now, what I want to cover, the other thing I promised I will cover tonight is the digital professional pathway. Digital professional pathway. Now, if you're following me on the live, you will know that I've been saying it's important that you become a digital professional. You can't do anything right now without being a digital professional. Don't even, let me see if I can open it here. So I want to show you, ladies and gentlemen, the trainings and certifications that are available on the digital professional pathway program. Okay, I want to show you the trainings and certifications and skills that you can acquire on the program. Just give me a second, I'm going to bring it up on the screen. Guys on TikTok, I know you can't see this, so bear with us. Guys on TikTok, I know you can't see this yet. Okay. I'm bringing up my screen in a moment. Okay, I think it's working now. If you can see my screen, let me know. If you can see my screen, let me know in the chat. Digital professional pathway. Digital professional pathway. Now, the reason why I want to talk about this is because a lot of people have been, coming on these lives, been listening, and you're wondering, where do I start from? What can I do? How do I get started? How do I upskill myself? How do I elevate my capabilities? And that is why this kind of program is important, okay? So I'm going to spend, the next 15, 20 minutes tonight on this, and I will be talking about the available programs that you can run or that you can partake of. But let's break it down for a minute. Number one, you have to embrace artificial intelligence. Let me start from there. So this program has been designed with artificial intelligence in mind, okay? Now, how many people here understand when I say embrace AI? Do you know what I'm talking about? If you know what I mean when I say embrace AI, if you know what I mean when I say embrace AI, embrace artificial intelligence as that is the new thing right now. That's what you have to, if you're not embracing AI, you're on a long thing, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah? Embrace artificial intelligence. So the way you do your work, you have to think about, how can I leverage artificial intelligence to make my job easier. Yeah. Now, the digital professional pathway is a community-led program. So I want members of this community to start participating in some of this training, and then you can have access to a private community, which is called Digital Natives. That private community will give you access to, the ability to connect and get mentorship. You get access to master classes. You get access to mastermind sessions. You get access to coaching and mentoring. Everything I share on the live I don't gatekeep anything, right? But when it comes to specific situations and circumstances of each individual, then peculiarities begin to come in. Everybody's situation is not the same. So it's important that if you are getting a mentor or getting a coach, someone like myself to work with you, it's important that the kind of conversations that you want to have will be personalized for you, is your own, they are related to you. Am I making sense? There are certain things you will get, there's certain value you will get, of course, from this type of life. But imagine that there are certain things you also can't get, because this is a public open forum, and I'm sharing, something that applies to everybody. From here, you can take something away and say, okay, I want to work on this one, or I want to improve on this one. Then you can then begin to get some guidance, some mentoring, and all that stuff when it comes to that. So this program gives you access to that, okay? Gives you access to that. As a community program, is designed to turn your goals into successful outcomes. And your goals, whether it's career, professional, or whether it's business, this program is meant to do that for you. So that's what this program is all about. Now you will gain access to, like I said, globally recognized certifications. You can also access practice simulations. Like I said, a private community to network with like-minded professionals. Access to master classes. We start our master classes in February. And then mentoring. Mentoring kicks off as well. So if you need some guidance, somebody you can just quickly call and say, hey, or send a message and say, this is what I'm struggling with, right? And also, what I love the most about this program is you get a career roadmap, a career transformation blueprint. Many people don't know that a career and a job, they are not the same thing. A career and a job is not the same thing. Your job is a means to an end, right? Your job is a means to an end. Your job is, those are the bus stops, those are the smaller micro journeys you make or transitions you make on your way to your career. Am I making sense? Your career has to do with your God-given purpose, your purpose on this earth. Your career has to do with your passion. Your career has to do with your calling. Your career has to do with the reason, your why, right? Who are you here to serve? Who are you serving? Am I making sense? And your career doesn't have to be like a job, or it doesn't have to be business. It doesn't have to be ministry. If your career is your job, then it's your job. Am I making sense, guys? So it's important to have a career plan, have a career master plan that takes you from the basic things that you should know. Somebody was asking during the live, was it during the live this week or last week? Somebody was asking, what skills should I have? Should I focus on having generalist skills, or should I specialize? I don't know if you guys remember, somebody asked that question and said, should I specialize, or should I, broaden my skills and acquire generalist skills? And we addressed that question very, very clearly, that it's good to have a combination of both. That is the best, right? For number one, adaptability. You have to be adaptable. Many people right now are struggling because the world of the marketplace has changed, and they are still operating in the old model. And the people who are making waves are taking advantage of the latest trends, building their capabilities, focusing on the right things, speaking the right language, and so on and so forth. So it's very important that you have a career transformation blueprint to say, what are the skills I should be focusing on at the basic level in any discipline? What are the skills I should focus on at the intermediate level? What skills should I focus on at the professional level? What things am I expected to know at the advanced stage of my career? A lot of people don't even know. A lot of people don't even know. So this program has been designed to address that for you. Also, for those who are looking to maybe gain experience, or you are looking to build hands-on experience through our program in Join Momentum. For those who don't know, Join Momentum is that if you can see the logo behind me on the live stream. You guys on TikTok can't see it, but the logo behind me, that's Join Momentum. We provide professional work experience. So whether you are trying to get work experience in project management or business analysis, in fact, we are looking for business analysts, quite a number of vacancies for business analysts. We are looking for user researchers. We are looking for front-end developers. We're looking for back-end developers, right? So guys, if you are looking to basically build, experience in any of these areas, and you are looking for a place where they will invest in you, we will invest £5,000 in you, equivalent £5,000 in you. That £5,000 is not cash, but it's value in your personal brand, portfolio development, training, certifications, work experience, references, and many, many things that will basically make you an all-round confident professional. Okay, so you can do that. Now, what do you get from this program? As you can see, if you can see my live stream, what do you get from this program? From the Digital Professional Pathway Program, you get globally recognized certification. You get a private community of professionals, monthly masterminds and masterclasses, and the roadmap. Now, let's start by looking at what certifications do we have. So guys, if you don't know, let me put this in the chat as well. For those who might want to visit the website and you want to explore what certifications are available, I'm just going to put it in the chat. I don't know if that's, let's see. There you go. No, I need to, sorry, I'm doing it the wrong way. Give me a second. I'm putting it on the live stream, guys. So it is joinmomentum.co.uk. Yeah, joinmomentum.co.uk /digital-professional-pathway. Okay, so let's talk about what you get. If you can see my screen, Python essentials. If you want to learn Python, if you are looking to work in a product team, or if you're looking to work as a data analyst, as a data scientist, this is a Python certification that can help you to understand how to build products, how to analyze data, how to manipulate data. This is a big thing that you can get. Another one is you can get a certification in IoT. For guys on TikTok, I don't know if I can type the thing for you. I wish you guys on TikTok can see my screen. This is where you see we need to improve the technology. Let me see if I can put it in the chat. Again, Digital Professional Pathway. Digital, one second. Sorry, bear with me. I'm typing for the guys on TikTok. So if you have any questions about any of these programs, let me know. And you can give me a second. I'm just going to put in this. So search. There you go. I'll put in the comment section. Digital. Hey, son, you see you later. Thank you. Digital professional pathway, guys. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. You can get the certification on IoT and digital transformation. You know, many organizations now are looking at digital transformation as part of their strategy. They've been looking at it for many years, but the technology landscape keeps evolving at a very fast pace. So many organizations are looking to hire people who understand what it means when we talk about digital transformation. Yeah, a lot of people call themselves digital transformation consultant, but really and truly, what is digital transformation? What does it mean, right? What does it mean? How do you understand emerging technologies and how they are transforming industries? If you're trying to build yourself to become a consultant, this is a certification you want to have. Okay, you want to have this certification. It's called IoT, Internet of Things, and Digital Transformation Certification. Okay, the next one on the list is we have Introduction to Data Science. Data science. I don't need to talk too much about that. You know, data scientists are still one of the most lucrative career options right now, or jobs or roles. Data science is big. Okay, so we have a certification that will give you. And listen, when I'm talking about certification here, I'm saying training, certification, exam, everything. And then, in addition to that, you get access to all the mentoring, the community, everything else that I mentioned earlier. Okay, I'm gonna have a sip of water. Then we have data analytics. Data analytics essential certification. You know, many people don't even understand the importance of, you know, how data is important for business. We've been talking about business. You know that to do business, you need to understand data. All right. A lot of organizations will hire you like this once you have this kind of certification. So data analytics essential certification is a very important one. You will learn how to transform, how to organize, how to visualize data with spreadsheets and tools like Excel, relational database like SQL and all that. Okay, and some of these are global certifications. These are not training certifications. Somebody will train you and talk to you and then give you some cooked up. No, this is a proper certification where you write a global certification from global organizations, global bodies. So check it out. Then we have managing a business venture. That's another course that you can take. Managing a business venture. Managing a business venture. Then there's the next one. Under managing the business venture, there is things like how to structure your business, right? Understanding legal, tax, and risk implications of a business. Okay, that's a very important thing to learn. Then we have Introduction to Modern AI. That's another certification. You know, I said embrace AI before. You remember I said embrace AI. I said embrace artificial intelligence. Guys, this is not child's play. So check it out. The link is just, if you put this link that is scrolling on the page on your browser, I'll type it or copy it or whatever. Then check out, all these things are already there. Everything is already on the website that I mentioned to you, that I'm talking about. Then the next one is Introduction to Cybersecurity Certification. Cybersecurity is big. Everybody now wants to become a cybersecurity consultant. Guess what? Everybody is. I was thinking about it. Which day was it? The day before? Was it today or the day before yesterday? And I was saying that if all of us become cybersecurity consultants, we become so secure. Yeah. So what's going to happen now? Yeah, just my goofy self. But you know what I mean. So cybersecurity is a big one. You don't want to, don't sleep on it. Then we have, if you want to take your cybersecurity skills to a whole new level, you have the ethical hacker certification. This one, you will learn the art of offensive security to uncover cyber threats and vulnerabilities before cyber criminals do. So this is another training or certification that if you are looking to become a cybersecurity consultant, you want to learn it. Then we have training on launching a business venture. Launching a business venture. We have one on discovering entrepreneurship. Discovering entrepreneurship. If you want to build your entrepreneurial skills, some of you are trying to apply for Global Talent Visa. You are trying to apply for, what's it called now? What's the other one we've been talking about? A self-sponsorship visa, right? Now imagine that you include this type of training certifications from global bodies as part of your, what's it called, application, right? They boost up your application. I'm not kidding, guys. I'm telling you the things I know that will help you. So check it out, read about it yourself. You're trying to apply for Global Talent Visa. I'm not saying it's a must. I'm not saying that these are the things that would turn around your application. If you have a poor, weak application, whether you do certification or not, that's a weak application, right? But if you're trying to basically make sure that you give your application a stand out from competition, because a lot of people it's very highly competitive, visa route. So you can look at the business venture trainings, like for example, discovering entrepreneurship, launching a business venture, managing a business venture. You can take the three together or just take one of them. Honestly, it will really help you and put you, a step above. And I'm not saying that you have to do training before you can manage a business. Don't get it twisted. I'm saying this is something you do to make yourself much more valuable and highly competitive, right? Competition is the name of the game, right? Many of this training you can go and learn and go and watch on YouTube, and you are good to go, right? But when you are trying to apply for a job or you're trying to apply for something and you want people to many people that are applying, you want to give yourself opportunities to stand out from the general or from the pack. Are you following me, guys? How this is making sense and helping somebody. Then the next one, you guys, is how to create digital content. This one is interesting, honestly. How to create digital content, communicate, and collaborate online. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you why I said this one is good. This one is good because the time and age that we are in, your ability to work remotely is super important. Today on Join Momentum Launch and Learn podcast, the topic that was discussed by the guys that hosted today's podcast was how to work remotely or something about remote working. And they were sharing some really valuable insights. I was there, especially in the first half of the podcast. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go and search online for Launch and Learn podcast. That's our podcast from Join Momentum. It goes live every Thursday at 12 noon. If you don't know about the Launch and Learn podcast, it goes live every Thursday at 12 p.m. 12 p.m. You will see a lot of people from Join Momentum sharing their experiences, insights on the various topics. Now, coming back to this, if you we work remotely at job, we are 100% remote by default, right? As long as you have a good internet connection, you have good lighting, you have a good PC, you can work with Join Momentum from anywhere in the world. And we have colleagues from different parts of the world. Like the last time I checked, we've had people from 15 or 20 different countries at Join Momentum. So we are a global organization. We are using technology to keep the ecosystem close-knit and collaboration at the top, at the top. Now, if you want to learn how to collaborate, right? What are the tools you need to learn? How do you facilitate remote workshops? How do you bring people together and all that? Creating digital content, communicating, and collaborating online. That's a training that I would recommend for you to consider. Okay. The next one is creating compelling reports. This is something I've seen a lot of people struggle with as well. How to create reports that people will love. You call yourself a business analyst, but when it's time to build a report or create a simple report or update for your stakeholders, then you realize that your PowerPoint skills are not very top notch, or you don't know how to use Canva, or you don't know how to use different tools that you can use to present and to convey information to your senior stakeholders or to your client. Guys, these are skills that you need in this time and age. I'm just being honest and being real with you. So check this out. Creating compelling reports, that's a training. Learn how to tell a great story and communicate important information to flourish in your professional career. Listen, I have been in places where the difference between me, myself, and the next guy, why my stakeholders preferred me to do something, was just because of the way I presented my information, the way I created my report, the way I built the report. It made a difference. Honestly, it made a difference. If you guys know what I'm saying, if you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. Some people, it's not that they don't know the work. It's not that they can't do the work, but they just don't know how to present it out, how to showcase it. They just don't know. They just don't know. And it's really sad, because these are things that I believe people should even master before they go to university. I don't know why people go to uni and then they come out from uni and these skills are still not, these things should be already ingrained in you. I'll tell you a real life story. Let me tell you true life, my experience, my real experience, guys. Okay? I hope someday some of the episodes on this podcast will be edited, and some of these live experiences and some of these inflection points will be edited and turned into like maybe reels or something for people to learn. Let me share a real life experience with you. Way back in Nigeria, I went for an interview, right? So background before the interview, some background context. This is a real life story, guys. So listen to this story. I shared this story on a podcast recently, and somebody has come back to me and said, I listened to that podcast. It was boom. Well, thank you. So I want to share that story again here. Listen to this. Now, this was many years ago, actually. So I met this lady, and she said they consult a recruitment consultant business. And she said to me that, they have some vacancies that they would like to put my CV forward for. I said, okay, fantastic. Put my CV forward. So they put my CV forward for some of those vacancies, some of those opportunities. And every time they came back to me and said, oh, we would like you to come and interview at this client or at this company, most of the time I would say, no, I'm not interested. I would tell them I wasn't interested. And I was not trying to be arrogant or proud. I'm not trying to be arrogant or anything. I just didn't feel like those organizations were the right move, or those job opportunities were the right opportunities for me at the time in my own personal career, in my professional growth, right? So I turned down the interview. I said, I'm not interested in, and these were good jobs. I'm not kidding. These were good jobs in Lagos, right? Lagos, Nigeria. So I turned down those interviews. In fact, I remember there was a particular one where, so that it didn't come across as if I was just being difficult and they were trying to get me a job. You know what I mean? A recruiter trying to get you a job, and you are the one saying, I'm not interested in this, I'm not interested. So it doesn't, so there was a particular one. I said, okay, I'll go for the interview. So I went for the interview. In fact, they gave me the job. I looked at it and I still came back and I turned it down. This was with a company. Let me know. I'm not going to mention the company name. Right? I told them, I said, I'm not interested. I said, the job is great. The company is okay, but it's not what I want. It's not where I see myself going for my career. This is not it. So I turned it down. So after I turned down like three or four, I think about three or four invitations and all that, the head of the business, which is the lead consultant, she told our staff, the people that have been inviting me and booking me for these interviews, she told them to tell me to come and see her. That she wanted to talk to me. Real life story, guys, true life story. So I went to her office and I went there. I remember after that very evening, I was in her office and she said to me, no, she was not there actually. She went somewhere, so I waited for her. When she came back, we just basically built a rapport. We talked. And bear in mind, guys, I'm telling you this real life story. Bear in mind, at that time, I didn't have any academic degree from any university in Nigeria. I went to uni, but I didn't graduate from any. Imagine to have insult to injury. This guy that's dropped out of uni here, and here he is. We are offering him opportunities to work in these roles, and he keeps turning down all these opportunities. It's weird, right? Very weird. So I think that was what made her, curious. So I said to her, I said, those are not my preference. I know what I'm looking for. When I see what I'm looking for, I know. So she said I should tell her about my background. Now, this is what made the difference. You see, God works in mysterious ways, and I'm sharing this story because every time I share it, I think there's an element, and this story is part of why I'm doing what I'm doing today. This story is part of why I believe that professional work experience is important above anything. If you like, go and study and do any degree or go and pass any exam. If you don't have experience, you don't have a skill. Forget it. Like, I'll call a spade, and I'll say it anyway. This is my story, right? If you don't know how to do something, you don't know. Even if you have a degree at that thing, it doesn't mean you know it. Am I making sense? And that's the story I'm sharing with you. So I told her, like, I started working very early in my career. I qualified as a chartered accountant when I was 20 years old, right? I went to first university. I went to University of Lagos, no, OAU. I dropped out. I went to University of Lagos. I was doing the undergraduate degree because I wanted to get the BSc, not because I needed it. I didn't feel I needed it. So I went there. And then there was one day in the class, they were teaching, I think the lecturer was teaching on something, accounting, and I can't remember the topic. But then I realized what he was doing was wrong. He was totally wrong because at that time I had already qualified. I had about 4 or 5 years work experience. So I know what I'm talking about. I know the job. And this was in a classroom with about 400, 500 people. And the lecturer was there teaching them something, and I could tell it was wrong, but there's no way for me to raise up my hand and say, I can't go and correct him. And I knew what he was teaching these 500 people was wrong. It's not the right thing. It wasn't the right thing. So what I did was, that was the end. That was the last day I went to that. Sorry, I'm calling out University of Lagos. Anyway, that's my story, right? So I dropped out again. I said, nah, I'm not doing this. I can't be wasting my time just trying because I want to get a degree. So I told the lady my story. I'm like, this is my story. I just didn't feel like those jobs were right for me. Anyway, to cut the long story short, she said, you're an interesting individual, and I know I will take your file or take your case up personally. I know a few clients of ours, and I'm going to have a word with them, right? I'm going to have a word with them, and I will tell them to have a conversation with you, because I think everything on your CV, your experience, your background is exactly what they need. But they might not know that you are what they need because they are looking at the wrong criteria. Of course, every company was looking at somebody who already had the BSc degree in something, or somebody who has done NYSC, all that stuff that people, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm not saying those things are bad. Don't get me wrong. And I'm not trying to be arrogant. I'm just telling you, my story. Okay, so moving forward, about a week later or 2 weeks later, I got a call for interviews again from the same company. This time around, with bigger organizations, global multinationals. I said, okay, now we are talking. I said, okay, now we are talking. So, but you see, what was happening at that time is I was trying to change my career. I was trying to change my job. I was trying to go higher. So, because I was talking to them, I was also like already looking for other opportunities elsewhere. So, I was kind of just interviewing. So, when when they called me for that interview, I went there. Now, the interview is where the story is really, and I'll tell you the end of the story. At the interview, when I got there, did the oral interview. We did all of that. It was great. It was for a senior role. So this is not for a junior role, by the way. Let me be very clear. Because at that time, I already had like, let me think, I already had like maybe 7 or 8 years experience. It was for a senior role, like consultant role at the time. So I did the interview. And then after the first interview, they then said, okay, there's going to be a second interview where we're going to do a practical assessment. Yeah. So the second interview, we're going to do a practical assessment. The practical assessment meant that they were going to put you on a computer. And like, listen to these guys. They put you on the computer. They give you some problems, some scenarios, and then they said we should solve the problem on the system. Are you getting it? Now, imagine that I didn't have experience. Imagine that all I had was theoretical knowledge or some degree or whatever. I don't know. Now, when we did the oral interview, there was a particular guy that also did well. So I think they were considering like maybe 2 of us or 1 out of 3 of us. I can't remember. It's a long time now. Anyway, cut the long story short, when it was my turn, they put me in the room. They gave me 30 minutes or 45 minutes, something like that. And they asked me to solve the problem. I remember very well. When I entered the room and I sat down on the computer, true life story, guys, and I sat on the computer and I opened the thing and I said, when I looked, I'm like, what is this? Like, is this the thing that they wanted me? Honestly, that's how I felt. With all humility, I'm not kidding. With all humility, guys, I felt like this is what I've done. Like, I've taught people even this. I've mentored people to even solve these kind of problems. All right? It was something around some presentation, some problem solving, some data stuff. So it was, and I'm talking, this was like 2008, 2009, very long time ago, right? So I just basically did the work. Like in 15 minutes or thereabout, I was done. In fact, after I did what they asked us to do, I now did a bit more to show that, okay, these are the other things that you can do as well, right? Like you've done this analysis, you presented it this way, you balance it this way, then you can visualize it, you can turn it this way, you can move this. I did more. I did a bit extra beyond what they asked us to do. And I was done in 15 minutes. I was done like half of the time. I can't remember 15 minutes, 20, I can't remember anyway. But I was done half of the time. So I came out. I said, I finished. So the lady said, oh, really? I said, yeah, I'm done. That I finished the thing. So, and then she said, okay, let's have a look. So she gave me some time. She went in there. She had a look at what I'd done. And she said, okay, interesting. At that point, at that same instance, ladies and gentlemen, real life story, in that same instance, she said, you stay here, don't go. I want you to meet our head of HR, I believe at the time. I can't remember now. I think head of HR. Meet our head of HR here. Just stay. I said, okay. So meaning that instead of me doing 1 interview or 2 sessions, I was asked to sit and wait for my 3rd one, which was like so I think what that meant was that, listen, you've passed this. They didn't say anything, but that was what happened. And I met the HR person. That was just a conversation, simple questions. Where are you based? What do you do? It wasn't a test of my skill. The skill was already like done. And I got the job. Okay, now this is where I'm going. Ladies and gentlemen. Number 1, imagine I didn't have prior experience or I have not faced those kind of challenges in the past. I had not conquered all of those things. I've not done them. I wasn't doing them to prepare for that interview. I never knew that that day would come where that interview will be a thing, where that interview will be something I needed to do. I didn't. I was just doing my job. I was just working in a job. I was just solving problems every day. I was just coaching people on how to do those things I was able to do. And you know what's thing about teaching people is the more you teach people, the better you get in any topic. The more you share, the more you teach, the more you mentor, the better you master the skill. Are you following me? So I got the job. Now listen to this story. After I got the job, in fact, the second interview they booked me for was with another multinational big organization in Lagos. I said no, that no need for that, that I'm okay with this, because when I got that job, I got another offer. So I had to choose between two good jobs, meaning between this one I just told you the story and another one. In fact, that other one, I'll tell you the story another day, because that one, they had interviewed me 2 years before, offered me a job, I declined. They came back to hire me 2 years later, and I said yes. So I was choosing between those two. Listen to me, guys. Experience is king. Don't let anybody deceive you. What you don't know, you don't know. If you don't know, you don't know. No jokes about it. And this is where the world is going. The world we are going into will separate those who know from those who do not know. So mastery is important. And when I'm saying mastery, I'm not talking mastery by certifications only. I'm telling you all the certifications, but the bigger thing than the certification is you do the certification and you practice, you know it, you master the skill. All right. Now, let me finish the story with this. Many months later, when I accepted the job, I started the job, I declined all the other ones and I settled in the role. I was having a good time, great organization, fantastic people, some of the best people I've worked with in my career, some of the best time of my career, actually. And one day, my boss was not telling me and said, do you know how you came here? Do you know the story? I said, well, I know the story, that the part of the story that I know was that this lady decided to send me to different organizations, including here. And I eventually came here. She said, no, that's not the story. You don't know the story, because that lady did not tell me the story. You know, the lady that told you that said you are a case, you are a special case. I will take you on board personally and I will forward your CVs and I'll personally vouch that you should see. Do you remember that lady? She didn't tell me what she did. She didn't tell me. It was my boss who then hired me eventually that was telling me what happened many months later. She said when my CV was sent to them, the first thing they looked at was they judged my CV based on all the other criteria, which was number one, somebody that has this number of years of experience. I think years of experience I met that criteria. But number two, somebody that has maybe passed a BSc degree and have his BSc certificate, all those things, which I did not have at the time. I mean, now I have a master's degree, so don't think, I'm not saying that degree is a bad thing. So let's get the message clear. At the time, I didn't have it. So she said, when they got my CV, they rejected it. They rejected outrightly. They said I wasn't part of the kind of people they're looking for. This lady got on the phone and replied back to them and said, listen to me. I have met this guy and I'm only asking for you to meet him. Just meet him once. If you meet him and you don't still want him, that's fine. But please don't look at the CV as a yardstick to judge this guy. I'm telling you what, true story, like my life story, right? So she said, okay, she now told the lady, okay, no problem. If you insist that we should invite this guy for the interview, we will do that. But really, he's not one of the people we are not really considered. It's not our top. It's not the top of our list. There are other people with masters from abroad, masters from different countries. Some people even with maybe PhDs, and some people with all the qualifications and certifications and chartered account, all those things that, you know what I mean? So she said, on the day that we came for that interview, what happened? You know, I told you I did the thing in 15 minutes I was doing, and they asked me to wait immediately. What happened was that was the day they made up their mind and said, this is the guy that we need. I kid you not, guys. God's grace is God's grace. Oh, but trust me, when you talk about God's grace, you all of us, each individual, we have a role to play. If you do shoddy jobs or if you are not good at what you're doing, the Bible says that, seest thou a man diligent in his work. See a man that is diligent. That's what the Bible says. See a man that is diligent in his work. He will stand before kings, right? And he will not stand before men. So the grace of God will enhance your diligence. The grace of God will not enhance your shoddiness. The grace of God will not enhance your tardiness. The grace of God will not enhance your low excellence, or you know what I mean. You've got to be a standout material. Am I making sense, guys? And that's the kind of community and that's the kind of people I want in my space. People who are aiming for excellence, nothing short of excellence in work, professionally, presentation, quality, articulation, mindset, thinking, everything top notch. Seriously, guys. And she said to me that it was that assessment, that interview, that gave them the conviction that, listen, you don't judge a book by its cover. This guy was the one. She said she called that lady back and said, thank you for insisting. True life story. She said, thank you for insisting and for vouching for this guy. Ladies and gentlemen, that lady that vouched for me, she never told me what she did. She just told me what she was going to do. But how she did it, what she did, she didn't tell me, right? And I got that job, right? Now, why am I telling you this story? There's a place for work experience. There's a place for professional upskilling. Don't do it shobbily. Don't do it just because you want to get the pay or you want to get the money. Even if the money is not giving you what you want, even if you're not getting paid for it, do whatever your hand finds to do. Do it well. That is my message for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen. On this epic growth live with Victor Sonde, my message for you tonight is whatever your hand finds to do, be it an internship, be it a volunteer role, be it a day job, whether they're paying you great or not, whether your boss is great or not, it doesn't matter. Put all of that to one side. Do an excellent job. Do a job that makes you stand out. Are you following me, guys? Do a job that makes you stand out. You never know where those things will come in handy. You will never know. Life has a way of bringing those things back. And everything you have been learning. Look at the story of David. David was a shepherd boy, and when David was fighting lions and wolves and bears and protecting the sheep and using the slings, using his bow and his arrows to fight, to protect his father's sheep, he never knew. He wasn't doing it because he knew one day that there was going to be a battle with a Goliath. David did not know that. Are you following me, guys? I'm preaching good tonight, am I not? We're talking about digital professional pathway. It has turned to another. It's turned to sermon and preaching. But guys, I hope this is making sense. It was many years later, guys, that I actually reached out to this other lady, the lady that did. Many years later, I reached out to her and I said, I just want to say thank you. I heard what you did. I know that. Thank you. That's all I wanted to say. I now know what you did. Thank you. I don't know you before. You don't owe me anything. It's not like she never even called me to say this is what I'm going to. No, we just had the meeting because I was rejecting everything that was coming. And she just felt like, what's wrong with this young man? Is this guy going through some sort of crisis? Is everything okay with this guy? Bring this guy to me. Let me talk to him. He has a good profile. Why is he turning down everything? And that was how we met. Are you following my story here? So whatever your hand finds to do it well. C'est fini. That's the end of my sermon. Let's go back to the screen. So if you look at it here, we have cyber threat management certification. Cybersecurity is a big space, guys. In fact, I'm so excited because we are launching cybersecurity practice simulation soon. In a few weeks, it's going to be out, and I'm going to be bringing it on this platform and showing you guys how it works. You can get access to this training. You can get access to this program where you can practice real life scenarios. This is not training where somebody will be telling you, no, you will see the scenario, the problem, and you will address it, and AI will review, and you work with the AI to improve your capabilities and your skills. Okay, there is Six Sigma. Yeah, if you're looking to work in change management as a consultant, these are trainings you need to have. Digital marketing fundamentals, another good one. Marketing strategy, marketing research, sales. Every company needs sales. Now, let me wrap up with this tonight. My time is far spent. I've really enjoyed sharing with you tonight, guys. Listen, in today's rapidly changing digital landscape, the skills you need to succeed are constantly evolving. So it's not a one-time thing. The digital skills or digital professional pathway program, this program offers you the tools, the resources, and the support. This is the key thing, and the support you need to stay ahead in your career journey. Whether you're seeking a career change, whether you're trying to upskill yourself, or whether you're trying to aim for leadership roles, you can see everything I've shared with you this evening. This program will help you to unlock the opportunities that align with your ambitions. It's presented to you by, this is brought to you by Joy Momentum. Again, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Victor Sonde. I am your host for the Epic Growth Live every weekday at 9 p.m. Thank you for joining me tonight. Tomorrow, I'm going to be here again. I think tomorrow is our last episode for the week. So join me tomorrow, and we're going to be talking about something super important. We're going to be tomorrow. I think tomorrow we're going to be looking at there's a question somebody asked about. I wrote it down about dealing with procrastination, how to manage your time. How to manage your time, how to execute and beat procrastination. All of us are victims to something as, it's a big thing, procrastination. All of us, many people, including myself, actually. So, but in many areas, how do I manage? How do I beat it? How do I make sure that I'm not behind? Or if I'm behind on anything, I am not way behind. Am I making sense? And if I'm not behind, I want to be way ahead. It's a very competitive world. It's a very competitive landscape. Whether it's a job, whether it's a career, whether it's a business, you've got to deal with competition. All right. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I really appreciate your time, and I hope that you have found value from the session tonight. Again, if you missed this or if you missed any part of the broadcast tonight, feel free to check on the internet. The recording will be there on YouTube, on X.com, on Instagram. Maybe not on Instagram. The recording might not be there. I don't know how it works. Anyway, but on LinkedIn and Facebook, search for Victor Sonde. Again, you can also subscribe to my newsletter, which is called Epic Growth Newsletter on LinkedIn. There's about over 3,500 people currently subscribed to that newsletter. And I share daily insights, or every other day I post and I write something super unique for my subscribers. Have a wonderful night from wherever you've joined from the world, any part of the world. Enjoy yourselves, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much.